Hello friends, welcome to my channel Satya Sparkles. Those who regularly watch my videos know this. Over 90% of my content revolves around psychology and mental wellness, often exploring topics that the general public rarely comes across. And today, in that same line, we are going to discuss something we experience every day in our real life, yet often ignore, underestimate, or even take for granted. So, stay tuned till the end. Let me tell you a real incident. One day, I was walking towards the main road. A friend of mine came riding on a motorcycle and said, "Hi Satya sir, I'm headed that way too. Hop on, I'll drop you." I casually asked him, "Are you into riding without a helmet?" He replied, "We are just taking the small side lanes, right? So no police will be there." Now, this friend of mine is well educated, holds a great job, and is in a high position. I was honestly shocked to hear that from him. So let us see another incident. I have seen this often. Some people acting very smart will keep their helmet on their petrol tank and ride off. But the moment they approach a traffic signal, they quickly put it on. So, what's the psychology behind this behavior? Why do safety and personal discipline depend on other people watching us? That, my friends, is the Hawthorne effect at play, a powerful psychological phenomenon. So, what exactly is the Hawthorne effect? Whenever we become aware that someone is observing us, our behavior automatically shifts and we act differently, more responsibly, more productively. Interesting, isn't it? That was first discovered in the 1920s in a factory called Hawthorne Works in Illinois, USA. Researchers were trying to improve worker productivity. They ran a test. If they increased the brightness of lights in the workplace, would output improve? To their surprise, productivity increased, but not just when the lights were bright, it also increased when they dimmed the lights. Why? Because the workers knew they were being observed. That awareness, not the light, triggered the boost in their performance. That is the Hawthorne effect in action. Let me tell you a joke. When an elementary school teacher once asked the class to read something and laid his head on the table to take a nap, one smart student noticed the headmaster walking by and quickly woke the teacher. Too late. The headmaster already saw the teacher sleeping. The teacher jumped up and loudly said, "This is how the deer was sleeping when the lion approached." Though this is a humorous one, what do we learn from this? Even in school, I have noticed when a senior officer or VIP visits, students become super quiet and suddenly serious about studies. And teachers start teaching louder and with more energy. This becomes the teacher's default behavior. Do you see the point? Even in the gym, when the instructor is watching, we somehow manage to do 15 push ups. But when he is not, we do just 10 and give 5 solid excuses for the rest. And we have no clue why we say this. All of us have seen signs near CCTV cameras that say you are under surveillance. Only then we do behave a little more civilized, isn't it? Some studies show that in metro stations where surveillance signs were clearly posted, people reduced littering and spitting, at least temporarily. Now, here is the deeper question. Can we be responsible and productive even when no one is watching us? Can we turn this effect into self awareness? If you don't understand the Hawthorne effect, psychology says that we may make wrong choices just to please the outside gaze. If we rely only on external motivation, it can never lead to long-term sustainable change. If we get addicted to performing only when we are being watched, we'll lose touch with our real behavior, our true self. I hope you agree with this. Now, let's look at some personalities who use this effect very positively. Sachin Tendulkar believed that more audience is synonymous with better performance. He once said, pressure is a privilege. During India's freedom movement, people did not just join the Swadeshi movement because they had to, but they felt Gandhi was watching them, and that invisible gaze helped form moral discipline across society. Film actors perform far better in front of camera than during rehearsals. Why? Because they believe that their action at that point in time will reach millions of people later, and that belief sharpens their performance. Even I have felt this during public speeches or workshops. When more eyes are on me, my confidence, energy, and clarity increases. Once a client came to me feeling low. I encouraged him to develop a reading habit, something that he never done seriously before. He said, "Sir, where do you have time for all this?" I said, "No problem. Just read one or two chapters from this book and briefly explain the summary in our next session." He hesitantly agreed, but the next week I was surprised. He had read half the book. When I asked how, he didn't have any solid reason, but he said one thing that caught my attention. He said, "I told my close friend about this goal too." And that is where the Hawthorne effect kicked in. He was not just under my observation, but also that of his friend. The sense of being watched created positive pressure to act. Even parents just sitting nearby can make kids more focused on studying. I have seen this happen firsthand. Mullah Nadruddin has a story about this too. Once he had to travel out of town, leaving his house staff behind. His friend asked, "How can you trust your staff to behave properly when you are away?" Mullah said, "Before I left, I told them, take care of the house until I return. But I never told them when I would return." That uncertainty uh, alone kept them in. In one conversation, a guy said, "Your manager is not in today. Are you not relaxed?" The other said, "That's a problem. I don't know when he'll call or what he'll ask, so I need to be constantly alert." Even in remote work, regular check-ins increase productivity. Now you know why. Try placing a mirror near your desk. When you catch your own reflection, your awareness increases, and so does your performance. Even reality shows like Big Boss demonstrate this. In the first few weeks, contestants behave in a very fake, camera conscious way, but over time, their true self emerges out. Similarly, the Hawthorne effect boost is temporary, but if we turn it into self discipline, it leads to permanent success. Now, here is a spiritual link too. Why do many religions promote the idea of watchful God? Some reasons may include spiritual growth or moral discipline or even political purposes. But I personally believe when faith in God includes a bit of fear, it stops people from doing something wrong. In psychology, this is similar to the placebo effect, which I have explained in another video. Link is in this description. Believing that someone somewhere is watching you, even if it is divine force, can increase conscience and clarity in your actions. So, friends, psychology is a tool. Whether it becomes light or dark depends on how we use it. Success doesn't begin outside, it begins with the way we watch ourselves inside. Growth is not a goal, it's a habit, and that habit begins with self awareness. I hope this video gave you something valuable. Thanks for staying with me till the end with curiosity and an open mind. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to Satya Sparkles if not done already and share it with someone who might benefit. So let's meet again in the next exciting video. Until then, bye.